The Shoei X Spirit III. Is this the best full face helmet ever? Let's find out. So I have something quite special with me today. I have the Shoei X Spirit III. So this is a top level racing helmet from a top quality brand, that brand being Shoei. And yeah, I really like this helmet if I'm honest. Despite being a racing orientated helmet, it's still going to be quite good for anyone with a sports bike or something like that who wants to ride on the road. Now, like I said, Shoei is a great brand and it's full of quality. This helmet simply oozes that quality and it's something that is immediately noticeable when you put it on. Now, for all that quality, we do have to pay though, and the price is going to be $730 US at the recommended retail price. So it is not an entry-level helmet in any regard. But when you compare it to something like the AGV Pista GPR, which is going to have a recommended retail price of $1,400 US, sorry, it's going to be quite a big difference there. And relatively, this is pretty cheap then. And I guess everything is relative, right? Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to come in at that price, and designs like this one will be a little bit more expensive. Speaking of the designs, this is the design for Marquez, and love him or hate him, Marquez does know how to ride. And this is the exact same helmet that he wears. He wears the Shoei X Spirit III in his races. And yeah, as you can see, this is his design with the ant, the 93 and all that. And it's a pretty cool design overall. So this helmet has some great upgrades over its predecessor, but like its predecessor, it does have something of an identity crisis. So in Europe, this is called the X Spirit III. That's what I refer to it as. But in America, it's known as the X14. Now it's basically the same helmet and there's nothing to really worry about there. Now the X Spirit III has some cool features, customization options and all that. So let's just jump in and we'll start with the shell first. So the shell is made out of Shoei's AIM Plus technology, and what that means is that it's going to use fiberglass and something that Shoei calls organic fibers to create multiple layers and have the best absorption of impacts and to be strong against penetration. It's also going to be lightweight and very strong. Now, Shoei says organic fiber. Organic means carbon-based, carbon fiber. I think it's made out of carbon fiber. I can't confirm that, but if we look here, we can see something that looks a lot like carbon fiber. So perhaps it's a slight variation on that. We're not really sure, but nonetheless, it's going to be a strong, lightweight helmet. And the shell is also available in 4 different sizes. Now, aerodynamics has been a big focus of this helmet, as you can expect. And you can see by just looking at it, it's got an aerodynamic shape. We have lines that's going to direct the air better. I mean, if you look on the visor here, we have these little things here, and that's going to help to cut through the air. Basically, this has been designed in a wind tunnel with help from Marquez and with a lot of input from him. So this is going to be very good in that regard, and it does feel very stable at speed. So now if we take a look at the visor is quite good. It's what we would expect from a Shoei helmet. And for the racing focus, we do have tear-off pins here. Then it's going to be treated against scratching and all that. And we have a pinlock lens in the box, which is A+ from Shoei. And if we open it up, we'll see what is a really cool feature of this helmet. On the side here with the mechanism is quite impressive. First of all, I think it's made out of carbon fiber. It definitely looks like it. So it's going to be strong. But it's also got springs. And these springs are an interesting factor because when I close the visor, you might be able to see them move. So it's going to work to really seal the helmet against the visor. So it's going to pull it really strongly against the shell. And this is great for aerodynamics and also for noise isolation. It's going to prevent leakages getting in around the visor. So you can maybe see that again. But yeah, it doesn't move much, but it's definitely something really cool. And the visor is super easy to take off. You just pull on that, then you lift it out. And to put it back on, same thing, but in reverse. That easy. And at the front here, we have this little pin. So when the visor's down, you can push it up, and then the visor isn't going to move. So it's going to lock your visor down. It's a nice little racing feature of the helmet. So for any racing helmet, ventilation has to be a big focus of the design. It's something that's really required for those high-intensity races, and Shoei have not disappointed us in that regard. So we have plenty of ventilation. Let me start here in the chin, and you can see here, pretty standard chin vent. You're going to open that up, and it's going to vent onto the visor via these vents here. What's cool though is below that we have this little vent, and that's going to pull air into the helmet, into the shell, and it's going to actually come out with the cheek pads. So it's going to come through your cheek pads, cool your face, and that is a great feature. It is literally a cool feature. Now, moving up to the top, we have a brow vent. Of course, it's going to bring air to your brow, as you would expect, but the switch is kind of hard to use with gloves on. It's almost impossible, actually, so try and figure out if you're going to need ventilation before you set off. Then on top, we do have a large scoop, controllable via a little switch, multiple settings, and yeah, it's going to pull air into the top of the head and the back, and then pull hot air away and out the back of the helmet. Speaking of the back of the helmet, we have ventilation exhausts on the back. We have 1, 2, and 3. The big ones are going to direct air over the spoiler. Then underneath, we also have a vent here as well. So plenty of exit points and plenty of entrance points. The ventilation of the helmet has definitely been improved with the wind tunnel testing that the helmet went through. Something else that has benefited from the wind tunnel testing is the noise isolation. Now, a racing helmet is not going to focus upon noise isolation. If you race, you wear earplugs, but the X Spirit 3 is surprisingly good despite being a race helmet. And it's not going to be the Neotech 2 or anything like that, but it will do okay, and it's definitely a plus on a helmet like this. So if you let me swap helmets over here, I'll take out the inner liner for you. Trusty donut, and then here we go. So the liner is quite easy to take out. We have quick release tabs here. I'm not going to use them though. I'm just going to pull it all out. This is quite easy. Cheek pad, and these are all removable, obviously. Washable, antibacterially treated and all that. And you can actually see here on the cheek pad that there are holes in the liner, and the plastic covering is also quite minimal. So that's where the ventilation is going to get through from that bottom chin vent. And it's going to be a bit hard to see, but there's also some ventilation holes in the plastic and the EPS as well. So let me just open up the double D ring here. We have obviously a double D ring. You can see them here next to the speaker cutout. So I'm going to take out the rest of the liner. Snaps up here, of course. Pull that out. There you go, main piece of the liner. I'll show you on the inside. You can see the EPS channels. You can see the speaker cutouts here. You can pull them out, put your speakers in. And yeah, so it's going to be a multi-density EPS foam as well. It's going to be very good in that regard. It's going to be quite safe. And overall, the inside is pretty decent. And these can all be changed and customized, so you can get different thicknesses which will suit your head shape and all that. It's a great feature of a Shoei helmet. Alright, so in terms of competition, the X Spirit 3 is going to go head to head with the very best helmets that the very best brands have to offer. The Arai RX-7V, AGV Pista GPR, HJC R411, Shark Race R Pro GP, and all that kind of stuff. I think they're just simply the best. Like the quality is better than something by Shark or HJC, and the AGV Pista GPR is almost double the price, so that really throws it out of proportion there. The best competition is going to be the Arai, and that's because it's going to have high levels of quality as well, and it's also quite similar in price. I do think though that this is the best full face racing cum sports helmet that we have in Champion helmets. If you like the X Spirit 3 from Shoei as much as I do, then you can pick it up in our online store and you can get some great bundles and some good discounts from that. So you can get a free visor, you can get a discount on Shoei's photochromic visor, or you can get a big discount on the Kato Pack Talk Slim. Just remember that's only in the bundles, so be sure to check them out. The Shoei X Spirit 3 is one of, if not the best motorcycle full face racing cum sports helmets around. Doesn't matter if it's on the track or on the road, this helmet will excel. Now, I am a big fan of this helmet, and it's a real testament to Shoei's quality as a brand. So in case you missed the start, I'm Chris from Champion Helmets, and this has been our review of the Shoei X Spirit III. Now if you like this review, then you should subscribe to us on YouTube, and that way you can stay up to date with all of the newest and the best from the motorcycle gear world. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.